Hi everyone, Dr. Nicole LePera, the holistic psychologist here. As always, thank you for tuning in to this or any of my videos. If you find them helpful, hit like, hit subscribe, or share them with someone else who could be of benefit. Today, I'm going to talk about how to set boundaries, sharing a 101 step-by-step guide for all of you out there who need to create some more boundaries in your life. Let me ask you a question to get started. How many of you out there notice yourself feeling guilty every time you try to set a new boundary? Maybe you end up feeling like you're being selfish, even when you know you're doing the right thing or the thing that you need to happen. Because if you've spent most of your life being the helper, the caretaker, the fixer, the one everyone else leans on, then this feeling of guilt can end up being overwhelming. So today I'm going to talk about why that guilt shows up, and more importantly, how to set the boundaries you need without getting stuck in that emotional loop. Let's first start by talking about the truth that most people don't realize, which is that your guilt is not proof that you're doing something wrong. It's actually often proof that you're healing. Now, if maybe even hearing that you find yourself not believing it to be true, you probably grew up feeling responsible for other people's emotions. And if you did, you likely learned that keeping others happy is safety, that having needs is selfish, and that disappointing other people ends up equaling rejection. So now, as an adult, when you set a boundary, your brain and your body end up reacting as if you're in danger. Quite literally, your nervous system can end up becoming so dysregulated that you end up feeling like you're running from a tiger, even though all that you said is, you can't make an event. And this is why so many of you end up feeling anxiety, shame, and then the immediate urge to fix it. But here's an important truth and shift that could be foundationally helpful for you to understand, which is that you are not responsible for another person's emotional state. And I say that because a lot of people actually misunderstand what boundaries actually are. Boundaries are not about controlling other people. I know in my private membership community, SelfHealers Circle, so many members feel like their boundaries aren't working because they say they're boundaries and then people ignore them or they violate them. And that's what the thing is. The thing is how people react to boundaries is for them. It says more to do about them than about the person setting the boundaries. Because how you respond to someone's reaction to your boundary is actually what ends up holding your own boundary. Because boundaries are not about controlling someone else again. They are about what you will do differently. So to bring this to life, some examples of a boundary is saying, I'm not going to stay in conversations where I feel disrespected, right? I'm not controlling the topic that someone maybe brought up in conversation. However, what I am saying is that if I were to end up feeling disrespected, I am going to remove myself. I'm not going to stay in that conversation. Another example of a boundary focusing on me, what I can control my action is if I were to say, I can't be available for this right now, whether this is a text, a phone call, a task someone is asking me to help them with, or an emotion that they would like to share with me. Again, they can send the text, make the request, and I can show up by putting a limit to my availability, by saying, I can't be available for this right now. Another example of what a boundary would sound like, again, focusing on me and my action, not controlling someone else, is by saying, I don't want to be involved in this situation. You should talk to them directly. Really helpful boundary if someone is coming to us with an issue that they're having with someone else. If they're triangulating, they want to share with you the problems that they're having with their partner or their mom. Again, can't control that they're coming to you for that support, advisement, validation in that moment. What you can do though is decide if you don't want to be involved. I don't want to be involved, right? If they have that issue, maybe they could go there with that conversation. Now, those were simple examples, maybe a clear boundary that you might communicate next time you find yourself in those situations. But here's the hardest part. The people on the receiving end of your boundary might not like it. They might get upset. They might call you selfish, or they might ignore your boundary entirely. And that does not mean that your boundary is wrong, right? So I'm sure if you've tried setting a boundary, you know exactly what for some people comes next. And that's guilt, where directly they might begin to guilt you in some ways, or indirectly you might just start to feel guilty or bad yourself. And the reality for most of us, especially myself who feels guilt quite often, is that guilt does not go away quickly, right? You might even be thinking, well, I've been working on boundaries for so long. I know these are so important for me. I know this will only help make this relationship feel healthier. Why do I still feel guilty if I know that this is something helpful for me to do? And the answer to that is because this pattern was built over years, sometimes even decades. So that guilt, that tendency to show up managing someone else's emotions, wants, or needs, and then the guilt you feel when you don't show up in service of that person is so deeply wired into you. Because if you were taught to be a people pleaser, or to never disappoint anyone, that guilt isn't just going to disappear. But I can promise you that it will begin to fade with practice. Because every time you set a boundary, even when, and especially when you feel guilty and you don't backtrack and take the boundary away, you are rewiring yourself. So now I'm gonna share a step-by-step guide to setting boundaries. Step 1, you want to identify the pattern. Notice all the different moments, contexts, relationships where you feel drained, resentful, or overwhelmed, because that's usually where a boundary is needed. So maybe take a moment, pause, give yourself time to explore or to notice. Where is it? Where am I overgiving or overextending? Step 2, once you're clear on where you might need a boundary, then you want to define your boundary. Keep it clear, keep it simple, and keep it direct. Some examples are as simple as saying, I can't talk about this anymore, or I need to take space from this conversation. Remember, you don't need a long explanation. You just need a simple, clear, direct boundary. Step 3, then you want to expect discomfort. Now this is crucial because a lot of the time, a lot of you will end up feeling guilty, anxious, and maybe even like you should take it back immediately. And instead of reacting to those feelings, practice pausing. And in that pause, even remind yourself, silently or aloud, by saying this feeling is temporary and it doesn't mean that I'm wrong. Step 4, then you want to practice sitting with your feelings. Noticing the habit, the urge, the tendency to want to escape your feelings. This is where the change really happens. Instead of escaping or denying your feelings, practice instead journaling what you're feeling, noticing the sensations you're feeling in your body, and practice allowing those emotions to pass without acting on them. You might even use some helpful internal coaching or dialogue, narration, where you actually coach yourself along by saying, okay, I feel guilty right now for disappointing them, for upsetting them. You might even be noticing my chest feels tight, my heart is racing, maybe even acknowledging this feels uncomfortable. And at the same time, I'm safe. This boundary, this new limit with all of these uncomfortable feelings are all part of healing. Step 5, then you want to follow through. And this is everything, because a boundary without follow through is just a suggestion. It's just a thought, an idea. It's not an actual limit. So if you end up saying, I can't stay in this conversation, then you have to actually leave the conversation if it continues, right? This is how your brain learns, okay, this is my new limit. I can remove myself. I can feel uncomfortable in removing myself, and I can survive those feelings because it was safer that I removed myself when I did. I'm okay now. Step 6. Then you can practice reframing even your guilt. So instead of just thinking over and over again, I feel so guilty, I must be wrong. I feel so guilty, I must be wrong. Maybe even practice shifting to, I feel guilty because I'm unlearning old patterns. Because remember, guilt isn't your enemy. For those of us who need boundaries, who've never practiced setting our own limits, it's going to be part of the process of healing. Because here's a truth that changes everything. Adults, all adults, should be capable of being disappointed. I'm gonna say that one more time so it really lands. Adults are capable of being disappointed, which means that you, listeners, are allowed to have needs, take up space, and say no. Disappointing others does not make you selfish. Constantly abandoning yourself for others does. So by now, I hope you're beginning to understand that the goal, nor is it a possibility or an expectation that you should set, is to eliminate guilt. You simply can't. The goal is to stop letting guilt control your decisions. Because on the other side of that discomfort is self-trust, confidence, and true emotional freedom. And if this resonated with you, please know that you're not alone. This is deep work and it's life-changing work. So remember, every single time you set and honor a boundary for yourself, especially when it feels hard, you're choosing yourself. And that is where healing begins. So as always, I'd love to hear from those of you listening. What is one recent or past situation where you felt yourself being drained or feeling resentful, but you ended up saying yes anyway? And what's one small boundary that you can follow through to break that pattern this week? Leave it in the comments below. And as always, thank you for tuning in.